Blam, kapow, and most importantly... So, Warpath, a very interesting character indeed. It transforms into a tank and has a very explosive language. Literally.
Let's go, Blam! Sing 'em!
At some point I got to appreciate this character a little bit more, well, especially since he's part of the Babers and also got an appearance in Fall of Cybertron, but this guy here is a summary of a very entertaining action figure. I firstly encountered this guy in a trip to the US, but I didn't buy it because I decided if to spend more money and buy more figures or just wait until time passes and get more cooler figures, like for example that Dark of the Moon Shockwave I have now. That was my initial thought on Warpath, that he was boring and a very plain looking figure, as I didn't saw a red tank as appealing as a Cybertronian one. But then I saw that many people were having fun with him on the internet, so I decided to finally get him and give him a try. The result? I could say I had my own words and started to have very much fun with this figure. The mold itself is pretty solid and it gives very good articulation for some poses I would come up with. I got some problems with the figure I had in time, but that doesn't lower its play value, at least for me. For example, he has some very weird pivots and posing him may be a kinda challenge, since there are wheels under his feet, but you'll get used to it. Also, this figure comes with slight parts forming, but it doesn't bother me at all. He comes with only one accessory, which is his shield. But this is also one thing that I dislike from this figure. The shield here is really small. I don't think it should be counted as a shield actually, because it only could be put on his shoulder, cause one of the sides of the shield is actually bended over. So like it gets annoying to try to make it hold it on any other part that isn't his shoulder, and when you finally do it, it looks very weird. Gimmicks of this figure, you know it, you can stick weaponizers or actual weapons to make him look more threatening than usual. Engineer on this figure is good, it has good mobility on the arms, head, moves around, has a waist swivel, good mobility on the legs, and has some pivots. I would say that the engineering is solid, but sadly, my figure is all loose and wobbly. The first month I got it, the figure he was like super solid and his legs were stable. I really don't know what had happened with them, maybe over time the adjustments of his figure has loosened, but it actually doesn't matter, that doesn't prevent him from posing well. Size comparison over here, Revenge of the Fallen Soundwave, Deluxe Iron Man, and Voyager Soundwave. Man, I have too many Voyager size figures here, so Warpath has the same height as Soundwave, and as expected, it's smaller than the older Deluxes and the Voyagers. Transformation is super simple but yet so fun. There are some stuff you have to look out for. When closing in the feet to connect both the tank's threads, you want to make sure that they connect well, and also when you de-transform it, you need to remove with care. Sadly, mine broke one of the tabs that connected the threads, but the shield can cover that if that happens, since it also makes them both connect, so that's not actually a problem. Even though, you need to take my advice and take it with care. Kablam! Here we have Warpath's explosive tank mode, and according to the TF wiki, Warpath's tank resembled the model of a Sheridan M551, an American tank created in the 1969, and the sculpting of the tank is actually great. I really like how they try to resemble the real life model of the tank into the figure. The tank here has a swivel that can allow us to rotate the cannon 360 degrees. Also, there is a fun feature here, that you can actually leave Warpath's head in the tank mode, so that he can get more visibility when shooting enemies. The tank rolls real good. It actually makes him go faster than most of the figures I have. Size comparison here with the crossovers Iron Man and Dark of the Moon Shockwave. As expected, he's shorter than them, but because the satellite Soundwave doesn't transform into an actual vehicle at all, I have to come up with these two again. Iron Man is still a deluxe class 4, but he's still large enough to be considered a Voyager size instead. Overall, Warpath is a great figure. He is solid, his out mode is also very good and has decent height. I think he's actually considered one of the best deluxes on the line. The parts forming is a downside of the figure, but it doesn't affect how good this figure actually is. If you're looking for the G1 character cast, this guy here is a must, cause there are no re-releases of him right now. I really recommend Warpath if you're just looking for a very good figure. Before I go, I want to thank the people that watched my last two videos. I really didn't thought on getting that high rated views. Thank you so much for your support to the channel. And because of this, I'll post another poll on my Twitter so that you can choose which figures will I review next. Thank you guys so much for watching. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, subscribe to my channel for more content like this, and we'll see you again soon.